Okay, everybody, it's a Thursday, 7/14, doing not short-term rental stuff, doing long-term rental stuff. So, for some reason, in the downstairs part of my split-level house that I rent out by the room, because according to Pace Morby, that co-living is now the hack. It is now the way to increase revenue. It's short-term is dead. It is now co-living is what they call it. I called it rent by the room, but whatever. Anyways, so the co-living house that I have, rent by the room, has downstairs, upstairs. The downstairs kitchen, I kid you not, every 6 months, something clogs the hot water in the kitchen sink. And I have replaced the faucet. We have replaced the water shutoff valve, the valve on the hot water line. We've replaced the supply line. I've done all of that stuff, and usually it's one or two things every 6 to 8 months, and I am back again. Actually, I take that back. I have just finished. I finished work at 5, and then I headed over, and it's now 7, so it took me exactly 2 hours because I had to figure out what I needed. There is a cartridge inside the handle. I've never replaced that before in my life. I vaguely even knew they existed. But I replaced the cartridge successfully. Not the easiest thing to do because there's like this little spring thing and a little washer thing. And you got to line that up perfectly. You got to line that up perfectly, or else it won't fit in the hole. Anyways, so long rant. Basically, I was ready to replace that cartridge and the supply line because the downstairs tenants, who I don't want to say complain a lot, but they kind of complain a lot. Anyways, and I get it. It's an old house. There's things that should work that only kind of half work. I don't want to be a slumlord, but I also don't want to build them out a whole brand new, basement, right? It's a finished basement downstairs. I don't want to build out everything, rip out all the electrical, rip out all the plumbing, it's co-living, right? It's not like the Taj Mahal. So I'm trying to do things on the budget. Anyways, ended up, having to buy these parts. And I did replace the hot and the cold water cartridge, just because I was already there doing one, might as well do the other. And I was ready to replace the supply lines, but when I did the cartridge, it worked. So I just said, nope, I'm leaving it alone. Not going to do anything else. So I was very lucky that I was able to fix that. My tenant is happy because he was telling me how long it took him, like 45 minutes to do his dishes, because there was like a little bit of hot water, and it was, and 100%. I would be frustrated too, and I'm sure they hate having me come over there every 6 to 8 months to mess with that thing as much as I hate going over there. But I just wanted to give you guys a little plumbing tip, a little bit of like what it's like to be a small-time landlord, managing and doing as much maintenance on your own properties as you possibly can, and give you guys a little pro tip. First thing to check if you ever have low pressure when it comes to your showers or your kitchen faucets is to check the, I believe the technical term is, it's the aerator, I believe is what it's called. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but the aerator, you can actually twist. There's at the very end of where the water comes out, there's usually like some type of thing you can twist off, and inside of that is a filter. It's called, I believe it's an aerator, aspirator, something like that, I don't know. Anyways, that usually gets clogged first. When you have, when you have sediment and, metal pipes, right, you get sediment and it gets caught there. That is the easiest thing to have happen. So if you have checked that first and it is not full of sediment and particulate, which it probably is, but if you clean it out and that doesn't solve the problem, then it can be your cartridge, your supply line, or your valve. So those are the 4 things that will affect water coming out of your shower head, and even too in your shower head, right? In your shower head, there's also that filter as well. So if, you know, in your little faucet, twist that thing at the bottom. If it's a shower, it could be your actual shower head itself. They have these little grates to protect all the sediment from coming into the actual shower head itself. So look at those things first. That's the cheapest and easiest fix. After that, you get into, you know, plumbing 101. But yeah, so that's what it is. Saved me probably $200 having somebody come out and look at it and you know, fix it. Obviously, it wouldn't have taken them 2 hours, and I took a couple phone calls and I was chatting with the tenant and stuff like that. So if I was really focused, and that wasn't the first time I've ever done it, probably like a 30 to 45 minute task if you have the right stuff on hand. It should be really easy, but you never know. All of these cartridges are different, so make sure you take one. That's what I did. I took one out and I took it to my nearest hardware center, and I found the exact, and this almost never happens to me, literally almost never happens. I found the exact thing. It wasn't like a universal thing, it was the exact cartridge that was in there. So I was super stoked because I thought I was gonna have to have somebody help me and figure it out, and like, oh, well, if that doesn't work, try this, and back and forth and all that crap. I found the exact cartridge. It was identical in every way, shape, and model. So I was like, yep, I'm taking that one. So anyways, that was my triumph story, how I defeated the evil cartridge that stopped my tenants from getting hot water to do their dishes. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my evening. Happy Thursday, everybody.